Labelled as one of the worst Manchester United teams in the history of the game. Today on the channel, we're going to dive into that, break it down, and discuss it. Welcome back to Big Stevie Cool 1872. Big Phil smoking that cigar. No need to fear, folks. This isn't a Man United Rangers preview. This is simply just looking into how bad Man United are, and Big Phil is going to puff on a cigar while that's going on, because let's be honest, I think there's a lot of parallels between Rangers and Manchester United. You know, two absolutely mammoth clubs who have lost their way since the early 2010s. I mean, it has to be said that's pretty much what has happened here. I mean, who's in a worse predicament, Rangers or Manchester United? I mean, honestly, I don't think there's much in it. Now, people will be like, oh, you have to say United. United are sitting 13th. That's all good, right? But the fact of the matter is this. We have won... Jesus, near coughed there and I couldn't get out. We have won. We have won 3 trophies in the last, 12, now 13 years. It's not good enough. I mean, it is simply not good enough, folks. Right? Man United, as bad as they are, at least they've won a decent amount of trophies in their awful spell. The reality is they're nowhere near league titles and they're nowhere near, competing at the top end of the Champions League, which is what United should be without money that they've floundered. So obviously, you look at both teams financially, absolute mismanagement of standards. The standards on the floor, the amount of players that United have wasted on wages, the amount of players that we've wasted on wages. There's so many comparisons there to be made. I think the only thing that Rangers are doing better than Manchester United right now is probably facilities. I mean, Ibrox stands high and mighty above the rest. Like if you look at Old Trafford, and I don't want to compare us to Old Trafford because it's not close. Yeah, the only thing Old Trafford's got over Ibrox is the attendance. There's more seats, 20-odd thousand more seats. It is infiltrated and infested with rats. It's literally falling apart. There's leaks everywhere. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It is honestly crazy how far Man United have fallen. And you know what? You've got people out here making a quick buck off it. Mark Goldbridge, I'm looking at you, Fanny Coopen. I mean, this guy's a Nottingham Forest fan. Make no mistake about it. You see, if you watch Mark Goldbridge's match reaction against Brighton there, 3-1. I like Mark Goldbridge. He's funny, right? But not the reality is, he's like an actor watching Man United. Like they're like 2-1, 3-1 down to Brighton, and this guy's like ripping the piss at it. Maguire, I can't speak. He's taking a drink out the water bottle. It's like, mate, your club is 14th in the league, getting scudded for the third time in a row, might I add, by Brighton Football Club, right? Liverpool are sitting top. Probably, Liverpool could literally do a quadruple this season, and he's sitting there bantering, putting on voices when the team's getting scudded 3-1. I don't know if anyone's ever tuned in to my watch-alongs, but I've watched plenty of people do watch-alongs, whether it be like the rabble or whatever. And I've seen plenty of other Rangers fans be clipped. You know what? There's passion. They actually genuinely care. And to take an example from down south with England, if you watch Arsenal fan TV, as much as I think the majority of them are clowns, when Arsenal get scored against Villa, there's genuine emotion. See, when you watch Mark Goldbridge, it's an act. You see, it's an act. You can clearly see that he's turned it up to 100 for the sake of doing it. You know what I mean? And I've see this turning it up and putting on fake reactions, man. It's pathetic. You know what I mean? I see during that cup final there back in the 15th of December, I was fucking distraught. You know what I mean? I was distraught. I was clinically depressed. I'm more than man enough to admit that. See, back in early September when we won 3-0. Oh no, we lost 3-0. We won 3-0 at the start of January. I was fucking fuming, man. I was spitting. I was hell. Fire and brimstone, damn it, as good old JR would say. So yeah, I thought I needed to address Mark Goldbridge. He is, as funny as he is, he's played the United fans in the YouTube community like a fiddle. This guy, man, he's played... we're all playing Mark Goldbridge's game, folks. Alright, that's the reality. But there's one thing I agree with Mark Goldbridge on. He's backed Almiron's comments about being the worst United team in history. And when you look at it, I mean, obviously they're not relegated. United have spent seasons outside of the Premier League, or the first division back then. Most notably, obviously, R.I.P. Dennis Law. He actually relegated United with Man City, which is just insane to think about. Like, what a mega moment that is. So, but when you think of it, when you factor in the amount of money that they've just spunked up the wall, the amount of duds that they've signed, it probably is pound for pound the worst Manchester United team in history. You know what I mean? Like, obviously you can go back to like the 1920s and 30s, but I mean, who's floating about for back then? I've been on this planet near 25 years, folks, and obviously the first half of that, Man United were the pinnacle of English football, but the second half of that, they've been shite, and it's incredible to actually see the decline. Like, if you think of the last time Rangers and Man United played each other at Old Trafford, it was 0-0. Like, obviously, we've got much worse since then. There's no two ways about that. But if you actually compare Manchester United since then, it is fucking scary. Considering nothing, I mean, all that really happened to United is they lost their manager. I mean, they didn't. It's not like what happened to us, so it's crazy. I would probably agree with this from big Ruben here, but it's funny seeing like Jamie Carragher and co just completely like, oh, he's pouring petrol on the flames. You know what? I actually like honesty from a manager. And so if the Man United manager wants to be honest like this, I think more than go ahead. It's the fucking truth. They're shite. I mean, we've seen a couple of years ago, Ranić came out and said the club needs open heart surgery and all that stuff. It does. The club is on its arse. Just the complete mismanagement of funds and giving guys like Anthony so much a week. Rashford 350 grand a week for school dinners. I mean, ridiculous. Anyway, this ain't the preview. The preview will be later, but if you watch the European preview show over on Fog Football, cheap plug, then you'll know what I've predicted for this game. But if you've no watched it and you want to hear what I think, go watch it. Unless you can wait until later on when I do the stream and I do a United Rangers preview. Anyway, guys, that'll do it for this video. I think this United team is the worst in recent memory. And I say recent memory, I mean like the last 50 years, man. Something like along those lines. It's scary how bad they are.